Alright, let's just do a really quick test here. Alright, let's just do a really quick test here.
Oh, that's a problem.
Alright, let's just do a really quick test here.
Oh, that's a problem.
Right. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and mute the desktop audio. Why is that looping? There we go. That should have fixed that. I have no idea how I ended up doing that, but we're just gonna move on. Hello Boom. Sorry about the black screen, let me just fix that. Next, kind of quandary. I don't know why I can't see... Did that fix it? Am I not live? 4 shards now. You can hear me, right? Yes, okay. I'm not really sure why, but... hold on. So I've got an embedded chat in OBS, but for some reason that dock is not working right. It's not showing me the chat, so I don't know. I guess I can just pop this out. It's a little annoying. That's fine. I'll pop this out. Move it over to here, set it to live chat. I didn't expect this to take so long, so sorry about that. I don't really stream things much anymore, as you can tell. There we go. Now I can see everything on the correct monitor. I can actually interact over here again. Alright. So, I realized that I still have all of this music saved apparently in a playlist. And I have no idea why, but every time that I've used RuneScape music, I've ended up getting copyright strikes. Even though you're not supposed to, but I think what people do is they remix the RuneScape songs themselves, and then, like, strike you for using their remix, even though you used the source material, which is goofy. And I'm now realizing I have to move the chat on this screen to be able to see correctly, so bear with me 1 second. If I shove that over here... Sorry, when I used to stream a lot more, I had 3 monitors, and I've got 2 now is the other reason this is a little bit more jank than it needs to be. There we are. Hold on, Arclight is a whole tick faster... Yeah. I was gonna say, Arclight is... Or, you know... Emberlight is really, really good there. It's extremely fast, it's extremely accurate, and if you're looking for an upgrade for something just to throw a spec, I think Bandos Godsword's probably still the best bet with Duke. But if you want to go cheaper than that, the Burning Claws are practically free. I mean, they're down to like 5.5 mil. It's like 50-50, right? If you had my gear and stats, I would say that the Burning Claws would be the way to go. With your gear and stats, I would probably go with the BGS, and I'm not trying to talk crap or anything, it's just the Avernic Defender gives you a little bit more accuracy. I think you probably don't have Ferocious Gloves, which are another 4 accuracy, which is, you know, it all adds up. I don't remember if this is much more accuracy than the Zenite necklace. It might be like +5 more or something like that, and then on top of that I'm almost max melee. So in my case, Burning Claws would be best. In your case, BGS would probably be better because it would ensure that you're hitting more frequently. But whichever one's affordable enough, let's put it that way. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to do Toa. I'm about to pre-pot without making a party, so we're off to a good start. Oh, I didn't mean to join a Toa world, but I think I might have. Cool. So here are my invos if you want to see them. I'm just going to run over them one time really quick right now for the sake of it, then we'll just sort of never talk of it again. I am going softcore run because, you know, sometimes you just have a moment where zebak gives you a rock and a pot and they just don't interact the way that you would want them to. So, you know, sometimes you die on zebak. It's not a big deal. Walk for it. Typically, I've been going in, getting about 35 to 40 minute runs. If I don't hit it, it's a 260. If I do hit it, it's a 280. If I don't take it, it's a 270. So it literally doesn't make a difference either way. Exactly, yeah. I could maybe go for jog for it, but then it's like, it starts to get a little bit more punishing the further up you go. I could go need some help. Again, if I really had to try and push for points, that would be the first one I would take for the 15 points for 1/3 less raid supplies, but I just like the consistency for solos to not have to be like, oh good, now we have to figure out how to do this with 1 salt or something, you know? You get screwed sometimes. I'm not running Insanity. That's one that I just don't feel it. If I'm running it with other people, yeah. If I'm running it solo, I want, like, if I've spent 35 minutes to get there, I want my loot. If I'm running Insanity and I screw up badly enough and I die there, then I've got to do all of Wardens again from the goddamn, like, go and tank the post and, like, go and summon the dude and do the 2 to 3 downs, but you probably don't have adrenaline potions now, and you maybe don't have salts, and you still gotta do the other whole goddamn rest of the fight. I just don't really feel like doing that, to be honest. Why do you have a crown beside your name? What is this purple thing, by the way? It says you have... Oh, you're my top fan. What? Okay. Anyway, I'll look at the percentage thing in a minute. I got sidetracked. So we're going to finish with these, and then I'm going to go over that in a minute. So Walk the Path feels to me like a pretty much free one for 50 points when we're talking about free stuff. Insanity can just be for people that feel like doing it. I could take Deadly Prayers. This is another sort of free 20 points. Sometimes I just take a bunch of damage, though, and when I'm, like, at this much HP, at the last little sliver of my health, and I drink a Prey Pot, switch to the Keras, try to spec, if I get hit during that time and that lowers my prayer enough, that... What's free now? If that lowers my prayer enough that it doesn't let me do the Keras spec, then, oh good, the next hit's probably going to kill me, because then I'm going to be spamming for a potion that I didn't think I would have to hit, and then a Keras spec while avoiding damage. Problem. So I don't take Deadly Prayers currently, but it would be probably, if I was like gonna get better at this, that would be another next one I would go for. Baba doesn't hit through prayer. I think Akka hits. Oh yeah, but sometimes you just mess up and take like a 40 because you aren't paying attention and you try to get in a hit that you really shouldn't try to on like Kephri or something. You know what I mean? Anyway, Living Larva, obvious. Don't need to say anything about that. Everyone takes that. If you're trapping stuff and you feel like swapping and doing a bunch of BS, then go for it. For 15 points, I can't be bothered. Blowing Mud's a free invo because it just means you have to run 2 squares instead of walking 1, same number of ticks. Medic prolongs the fight unnecessarily. Sorry, Blowing Mud is what I meant, or Aerial Assault is what I meant. Blowing Mud is... Does this even do anything? Does this just cause 2 people to get pooped on if you're in a duo? Like, does this even do anything solo? I have no idea. For zebak, I just run everything, because honestly, it's a really easy fight nowadays. That's what I thought. It feels like it's literally a free one. Like, it's actually giving it to you for free with no consequence, unless I'm missing something there. I don't take Double Trouble because I don't want to have to deal with, oh, you have to walk 2 squares at a time every single time in the akka fight while I'm trying to dodge the 4 colors phase. I could do it, it's just inconvenient. And keep back means that I have to stay back while he's using his range and magic attack, which it's probably another free one. Like, that would be one I would take. I would take keep back, need some help, Deadly Prayers, and that would probably be about as far as I would go if I wasn't going to take Insanity. And then Boulder Dash, I just don't like taking it. I can't remember, but I think it affects Baba in the final fight, but I don't remember for sure. So, quick note on these percents. They recently updated something with them, but I'm not 100% sure what they did with them. They've changed them a little bit so that the interval at which they get better is a little bit smaller. So you see if I put Insanity on, still nothing. 330s are the same as 270s, aside from the fact that you'll have a higher chance at hitting the purple table. But the purple table doesn't actually get better until 350. And at 350 it goes up by 0.3%. You see why I'm running these 270s. And then after that, To get from 0.45 to the next increment, it's at 400s, I think. Yeah, at 400s it gets a big jump from 4.5 to 5.3. And then after that, I think there's like, if you literally couldn't do the raid if you turn everything on, I don't think, but for the sake of it, sprint for it, whoops, hardcore, no help. I think 600 is as high as you can theoretically set the raid, and that's 6.1. So, what did I have different from this that I added as a 280? Crap. Oh, it was walk for it. So yeah, you see why I run a 280 now? Because this is still a 4.2% chance. It's about a 4% chance to hit the drop table if I don't mess up too badly, which for me is, that seems fine. Anyway, enough dicking around. Let's see if I can actually remember how to do this. You need to think about the actual purple itself. So, as I showed there, unless you're willing to do, like, about a 400... Like, at 350, yeah, it's a little tiny bit more likely to get a shadow in your purple, but until you get to a 400, it's not an appreciable amount, in my opinion. So, yeah, if you're pushing content, then you're trying to get harder and harder content done, yeah, you could probably justify doing 400s. But I know for a fact that I can make it through this raid with, like, 95% consistency. And to me, that's just worth more. Not really sure what the best route is for this room either. So I know I don't have to piety on these ones, but that one's going to get stuck now. So I'm going to have to run over here anyway, which means... I'm going to deal with that poison monkey immediately, I think. Oh shit. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, that's really bad. Yeah, not at all what I meant to do there. Oh good, my thrall actually just fixed my error. Okay. Oh, you what? I hit the oh, you son of a... Okay, I guess I didn't do that thing that I'm 100% sure that I did, but that's fine. That's totally fine. That's fine. I can just use my spec if I really need to heal. Okay, I messed up a little bit there. Meant to use the augury prayer against that one. Like so, because unfortunately I don't max hit high enough without prayers on these ones to one-shot them. Crap, get off of there, okay. Range. Potion. These stupid things. I can kind of ignore the melee ones at this point, I think. If I get lucky here and don't blow myself up. Yeah, not bad. Okay, Monkey Room is still super goddamn hectic, but I'm mostly just bad at dealing with a panic situation like that, so it's not really that big of a deal. Because I can just do this. Typically I end up finishing with like 2 full brews, sometimes a third one, so... And yeah, there is actually a moneymaker on the money-making guide for a solo 300, by the way. Which is effectively the same purple chance as the... Well, it's a higher purple chance, but it's the same table that you're rolling. Like, it's the same, you know. Sorry, I'm just sorting myself out a little bit for this one. I'm not gonna need the blowpipe. And I waited just long enough to get this... So that Might as well thrall. And we miss entirely with the spec. That's great. That's exactly what you expect to happen. That well. Ooh. And I do have Mind the Gap on, of course. And I think I'm going to just sort of start moving my way up here just in case I get unlucky on these hits. No, we're good. Probably not going to be able to read the chat for a second, but I see it moving. And we're good. Yeah, 300 is the threshold to make it an expert one, which unfortunately means I've got like 270 KC on like the lower tier of Tombs of Amascut technically, but it's not like that big of a difference, honestly, running a 280 or a 270 versus a 300. It's like 1 or 2 invocations would change it, so... It's just where the breakpoint is. I think we're going to start pulling you this way, okay, or just run all the way. Is it going to hit me? No. Zero and 0, come on. Go into the next phase. There we go. Can we get 2 in a line? Nope, we cannot. Oh shit. I thought it was one more over. Oh, come on! This is why I don't spec mid-fight. Yeah, that got a little bit hectic. But we're at the end of the fight here. I realistically don't think I'm gonna bother to heal. Because as you pointed out, it doesn't really hit through prayers now, so I'm just gonna risk it and... oh shit. No, 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 no. I'll just dump my specs and really commit to the, not being able to heal bit here. These guys can still hit, I think, up to maybe a 9 or a 10, I can't remember. Either way, didn't seem worthwhile just to waste another dose of that potion. Realistically, we were a lot more comfortable in that situation than it looked like. As I say, I still had the Kara spec. Baba's easy? Yeah. I do like to get Baba out of the way immediately, though. Oh yeah, puzzle room is... just sort of is what it is, you know? The funny thing is, anytime I'm in Toa with somebody else, I always get confused at the end because I always forget that it's different, because I've done so many more solo than with groups. This part right here. And one more. Alright, place your bets. Am I going to land a BGS spec on Kephri? Because I'm going to try to hit 2 if the first one doesn't, you know, land. Because I don't think it will. Oh, we got an 8. That's, believe it or not, actually pretty good for hitting Kephri. Gonna hit for a total of 23. So, I don't really understand what the hell they did with the coding on Kephri, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think they do either, because they recently tried to make some kind of an update to Kephri with the Toa stuff, realized they couldn't really figure out how to make it work because of its goofy HP bar system, and just left it the hell alone. But I know that BGS specs at the start of this fight are just a complete goddamn waste. It's one of those, if they just happen to hit, oh great, you know. But I would say like 70% of runs they don't hit. Like at all, either one. So this is actually pretty good. It also resets its defense when it goes to the green HP bar, which is a little strange. Where is it? There it is. Oh shit. Of course, all of them spawn on the top, and I get basically nothing here. Alright, well, so much for trying to leech a little extra points. So this is why I don't really like doing more overlords. Usually my strategy for solo Kephri is just throw all the crap into the bottom right corner. That way I don't end up having to have a panic swap moment if I accidentally trap the mage somewhere that I don't want it to be. It also means that if I accidentally get double crapped upon when it goes into its final HP bar, if I get really unlucky and just so happen to hit it right as it's phasing, it's not just kind of an instant horrible situation. So I'll smack that on the way past, throw a spec at the mage. Thankfully the AoE attack was not on top of me. Is that even going to move it with those low hits? Okay, it did. I usually don't have enough time to blow pipe on this one, so... I don't think zeros move it. I haven't actually hit a zero on that thing in quite a long time, though, so I don't really know. Maybe they made it so you can't miss it. I'd believe that. Anyway, this Kephri's gone pretty well. Oh no. That's fine. Might as well use a restore at this point. I really don't even need to keep prayers up on this boss fight, like it doesn't... You don't take that much damage, especially because I pre-potted a extended anti-venom, whatever that newer extended anti-venom potion is. The kind of a green-colored one. It's crapping again. Getting pretty low hits on this phase, actually. Make sure all my gear is right. So now it's kind of worked me away around this corner. I'm just gonna... Actually, I screwed that up a little. I'm just gonna stand here. There we go. And then here. And I'm a little perturbed that I can't seem to get a good hit here. I'm going to get double crapped here. I have no recourse, so I'm going to click this way. And just hope for the best. It was a 50-50 chance that I went here. I don't like when this happens. Probably could have just ran further if I wanted to instead of hitting it, but we got loads of room anyway. And we're done. Yeah, let me know, because I would be a little bit curious. I don't know how panicked I should be if I miss on that one. Doesn't say anything about the Kephri mage thing, but I swear I heard it somewhere. Maybe they tried to change it? I don't know. I know that if you low hit Kephri before, it wouldn't move. I got level 2, level 1. I think I'm going to go Path of Het first. Yeah. I think you had to hit a minimum number of damage on Kephri, on the mage to be able to move it, but I don't know what that damage was. Might have been like a 6 or a 7 or something like that. Initially, I think it was just so that thralls didn't move them, so they probably just updated it so that thralls just outright will not move it. That would be my guess, but I can't confirm that, so... Didn't realize I could pick up that mirror right there, whoops. Now, they did actually update this room. Oops. And what I think they actually did is made it so that you don't have to be tick perfect anymore. Oh, crap. Can I even get to this thing? Where am I? Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a 2 down because I didn't realize I couldn't run around where I thought I could. So, whoops. I can't change anything about that now. But they basically gave you one more time tick, like one more damage tick on this room, I think. Because pretty consistently before with over 85 mining, I'm at 89 on this account, but at 85 plus mining, you could get like, I don't know, maybe a 90% chance of one downing it, but you would always one down it if you clicked one block away when that turned green. You don't have to do that anymore. I mean, you still can, but... Oh, come on. This has been just an absolute disaster of a Het's puzzle room, but it is what it is. So the very first phase, I'm gonna want my range gear. It does feel like a waste to throw away a potion, so give me a second to juggle that. Alright. So this is, I don't know if you've fought this thing since they've updated it, but my god, is Akka way more bearable now. You can come in and use either range or mage, so I don't ever actually have to use mage during this fight ever again if I don't want to, and that means I'm never going to. Not too much, just on round 1 here. About to have to deal with Akka's clones. There we go. Yeah, so instead of praying 2 at a time, it basically just prays 1 at a time, and that's about it. Melee still does hit through prayer pretty hard, but the other 2, I think they might have lowered the damage a little bit. So it switched to range there. Did its normal spec where if I move, I'm going to start throwing orbs on the ground, so I'm not going to. So now I just pray range, and I'm going to stay melee. And when it switches again, it'll switch to pray mage and attack with mage. So it'll just use whatever attack is over its head now, effectively. So now I know it's this. So we got white, red, white, yellow, black. And it's on mage, so I don't even have to swap gear now. I can even just summon that skeletal thrall again, so thralls are even more useful as well. Iron Man versus main. The only reason I don't play an Iron Man is I don't really want to spend money on bonds or membership or giving this company money. It's not that I don't think Jagex deserves my money, it's more just that I don't have disposable income for video games to the point that I want to spend the amount that they charge for it. If I'm being completely honest. I think Iron Man is a more rewarding gameplay in the vast majority of things, but at the same time, if you're trying to green log every drop from every boss, that's just not gonna... why did I switch that? That's just not gonna happen in RuneScape. Like, you're gonna have a bad time if you try to do that kind of thing. I should have just stayed in melee gear. White, red, black, yellow, white. So if I were to play an Iron Man, I've already kind of realized there's certain pieces of gear that would either be completely off the table for me, or I would have to do a lot of content that I genuinely don't like and don't want to do. In my opinion, playing a main and trying out as much content as you can is a better experience, but being locked to an Iron Man really does force some people to learn content that they would otherwise just never touch. Oh, crap. That's gonna hurt. Oh, that just about killed me. Turn on the prayer, please. Thank you. Holy shit. We might still be dead here, because I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Yep, nope, just tightening up the old, ventricles there. Just having a little bit of a heart attack. Black, red, black, yellow, black. See why I don't have deadly prayers on? Because if I was trying to deal with that situation and trying to restore another dose of prayer, I probably would have died there. Yeah, I don't know how you lost 150 mil boom. I don't know what to tell you about that. A lot of gear has devalued by a huge amount, so it doesn't really surprise me that your, like, bank value has gone down. I just don't know if you're missing gear altogether. Anyway, thinking about what you asked me, too long didn't want to hear my random rambling response. I think a self-imposed Iron Man's a more fun premise. And I kind of play in that way a little bit. I might turn the in-game sounds down a little bit after this this fight. Sorry, I'm noticing that those explosions are a little high on the, I don't know, what do you think? Do I need to turn the in-game volume down a bit or no? Anyway, I think that this is sort of like an Iron Man, because I've never actually put any money into this game. This is like a free-to-play members account kind of situation. So it's sort of like a version of an Iron Man, you know? It's like a bond-locked main, I guess. Which is like the stupidest thing ever, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we're on this phase. Another thing here, you can now summon a melee thrall. Get slapped for a 24 because you're not paying attention enough. Oh god. And the melee thrall will not cause him to hop, but it can do damage. It's not a lot, but this phase bloody well sucks, so anything that I can do that makes it better is good with me. Oh no, 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 no. Still not the best with RuneScape movement, especially after long breaks. A lot of panic running going on. Oh shit. Oh, just hit him. Just hit him. There we go. Okay. I mean, I totally had that. I don't know what you're talking about. So, mains have the option of turning into GPscape, but at a certain point, you either hit a wall where the next grind is going to be like a billion GP, or... yeah, or you don't, you know what I mean? Like, in this character's case, you could argue that I'm playing GPscape because what I'm trying to do right now is get a shadow. And if I get a shadow, I'm immediately going to sell it for GP and use it for the several other upgrades that I could use that money to buy. Because, frankly, just having a shadow with crappy mage gear isn't really overly helpful, and I think the price of it's going to just keep dropping. But at the same time, I'm kind of liking doing Toa, so not really much of an issue to me. I guess the point is, if you're having fun with GPscape, then you're still just playing the game and having fun, so what's the issue? And yeah, boom, I meant to mention they also... I think they lowered it by 1/3. Alright, place your bets. Is the BGS going to hit this time? Typically, I do tend to expect a really big hit on at least one of these. Don't know why I put full melee gear on, that was an odd choice. But I mean, this is my resources for this fight right now, like, you can see what I mean, I've got way more than I need. When's an account ready for raids? Depends on the raid. You could start doing Tombs of Amascut with, like, I wouldn't bother without 82 attack because you need that for the fang that comes from here anyway, so probably like base 80s, something like that. You could do it with base 70s, but it'd be a lot harder of a time. And it also depends on what gear you're bringing in, that type of thing. Ooh, that's a big hit. Let's go for 2. 42, alright. Just beating the... Oh, I can't say that, never mind. You just assume what I was going to say anyways. Yeah, I would say if you're in, like, the base 70s, you're probably better off doing something like... Let me put it this way. I wouldn't worry about raids if you don't have, for example, a quest cave. Oh god. Okay, we're just gonna run across that. I just don't even care. Oh god, I didn't see that it went to... We're dead. I've died. That's fine. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna take more poison damage than I can deal with in the time frame. So I've screwed up. I didn't realize that it had shot a magic projectile out because I wasn't paying attention to its attacks. Our only chance here to survive is if we somehow take no damage until I've gotten 3 more... Oh, we're just fucked. There's nowhere I can go here. No, one more. One more. Mage. Fuck. Okay. I needed to, yeah. No, it was over pretty much as soon as I took that mage hit, because I was trying to process the nonsense that Boom was on about trying to do raids with, like, a 10 mil budget, no clue how the game works in base 70s. I've made a couple of OSRS videos, I just haven't gotten around to actually putting in the time to making some more of them. How many salts do I have? Oof, okay. Yeah, that was a big everything going wrong situation there, Boom. A walking OSRS wiki. I've just played it a lot. There's a Discord link in the description too if you want to join that if you feel like it. I haven't been streaming much lately, but I've been thinking about maybe streaming some of these raids, because this is kind of fun to have some company while I do complete failure moments like that. It's nice to have, you know, a recorded stream of just how big of a screw up that was. He's older though. Brother, this community is older. You're the young one here, Boom. I'm not an ancient... Look, just because I remember Y2K doesn't mean I'm 2,000 years old. Not the Library of Alexandria here, for Christ's sakes. Almost. Alright. Much lower hits, but I do think I might have hit the maximum. I wasn't really paying attention to what the numbers were, but I think I might have hit the maximum for the damage reduction on that anyway. Alright, I'm gonna try to not screw up the fight this time, because if I screw up now, we're just... Oh no. Okay. It's not even gonna take the chance on it. Yeah, I wouldn't expect too much. I might start putting out a bunch more RuneScape guides and content like that, but as I say, I just kind of haven't yet. It's been lazy. Oh, I really don't need to be wasting prayers with that. Shit, where am I going? Where am I going? There we go. Should avoid me getting poisoned this time at least. Yeah, that's kind of why I've been coming back to it. Seeing a lot of newer people enjoying the game in a way that that I kind of used to be able to has been encouraging. I am in danger. Okay, not really loving this situation that I'm in right now. Not even going to worry about attacking for a moment. I know you can wave skip, and there's, like, you know, there's strategies to get around the situation that I just put myself in, but I'm just... As Boom said, I'm old, and, you know, I only have so much time left in, like, moving my joints and such, so I don't want to waste them. Okay, I gotta try and trick that around, and then over. Okay, somehow that still hit a 19 on me, but that's totally fine, because we don't need these potions for actually anything after this fight. So I might as well just throw this out, use the Karis, bring that back up, and we're all set. Oh shit, I forgot it had another waves phase. Oh no. Okay, well, that's fine. That's not fine. That's a little much. Hey, come on now. Alright, we're into the last phase. Last 25% it enrages. Just gonna stand here and hope that if it does use blood spawns that they're over in the other corner. And you know what? I've got so much resources left here. Instead of screwing around, I'm just gonna leave my attack prayers on. Not even gonna bother. Why add stress? Probably not going to hit the 40-minute timer, since we had a death on zebak, and honestly it was a bit of a slow zebak when we finally did get through there. But that's okay, we got through. And even dicking around that much, I've still got 7 doses of super restore left. So that's what I mean, like I'm well overstocked for this run at least. Okay, we don't need the blowpipe anymore, so... I'm still kind of working on a strategy for how I want my inventory for this. Which I realize that kind of sounds dumb, but it's kind of problematic because I need one more inventory space to be able to put everything in it. So instead I've got to at some point, maybe during the start of the 3rd of 4 phases. At that point I'm going to have to grab the, whatever those things are, the prayer moth things. Okay, that's enough. And we'll go until about, until about 60 HP or so. 69's fine. Don't even need to worry about prayer at this point because I'm going to use one of the doses of the white potions whenever we get through the first round of things hitting me. What I am going to do is take this time to make sure my inventory is kind of organized a little bit. You'll notice I've got my DDS set up in position with my melee switch. This should, cross your fingers, be calculated. Alright, 7 HP, we're fine. As long as this thing's down before it does that again, we're all set. And we did land those BGS specs, so we should be just one more hit. Oh, come on. Okay, no, we did get that 44. That was fast enough. And because this is going to have a lot of loud stuff in it as well, we'll do that. Augury. Alright, let's see how this goes. Excuse me. Alright, first spec down. Based on how this is going, I'm not going to do that thing that we were talking about, boom, where you stand in its melee range to try and, yeah, we're not going to mess with that. Actually, don't know why I just did that. That was a mistake. Okay, we got in there fast enough. 42's not a 46, but that's fine. So that's 4, 5, and we get a whack with this. Now it's range. I don't know why I left protect range on that whole time, but it's too late. I did. Thing is, I've got 1 minute left of these salts, and then I've got 1 dose of salt left, so I kind of want to keep my HP as high as I possibly can at this point while using those yellow potions, because they do reduce your stats temporarily. Oh no. Oh shit, that's gonna hit me for sure now. Yeah, that's pretty bad actually. What's he at, 82? Yeah, we're just gonna not get hit by that twice. Worry about healing up a little after. That'll be fine. Crap, where is the dagger, blue pot, spec? It misclicked a lot. That's a big time waste. That's fine though. It's gonna be a 3 down, I think. I had a little bit of a panicked misclick moment there, but I think I get 10 attacks here though. Maybe. It's gonna depend on whether those 42s were strong enough. This is either a 1 down or a 2 down or a 3 down. What's it gonna be? Nice, we got him at a 2 down. So I've got... how long on the salt? Wait, is the salt already up? Oh crap, it is. Okay, I guess we just don't heal until we have to. And when we have to heal, I guess at that point I have to use a salt. Alternatively, I guess I could... just sort of... I'm not really in a panic right yet about it, because, like, it's not an issue right now, but I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do if I run into this situation. And what I could do is just screw it and use a white potion. What I also do, though, is wait until my spec energy is another 3 rounds higher, I think. Yeah, 50 to 80. If I can do that, I can just use another Kara spec and it's not a problem. Another thing that I've forgotten to do now is get the... I really need to learn what these items are called, the moths that restore prayer over time. I need to get that out of the sack as well, but I'll do that next skull skip. As long as things don't go too badly here, I shouldn't realistically take any damage. Until it gets to 5% HP and goes up, and then, you know, whatever happens, happens. Another thing that I've gotten used to now that has really been helpful for me, that I just sort of randomly decided to do one time and have been doing ever since. If you, whenever you use a potion that you've gained from taking life or whatever, immediately click on the bag to resupply. And that way you never end up in a situation where you've run out of potions and you try to, you know, you have to like right click and withdraw one and hope that it gets the right thing, and yeah, none of that BS happens. So like I'm gonna drink the pink one in the bottom right. Whenever this thing gets me into a position where I can do that safely. There we go. And then immediately resupply, and then it's a 4-dose potion again. Because even if you misclick the resupply now and then, it's not that big of a deal. You can just deal with having a 3-dose. It's just... I ran into a couple of deaths in this raid because I used all 4 doses of a potion without realizing you could just click that to resupply. Alright, we're 40%. So this is the first rock phase. We dodge the first rock. Wait for the second prayer. Yep, no, it's on mage still. Second rock will be auto-dodged by the skull skip. And the second time we just dodge 2 rocks instead of 1. Dust Devils, nice. Are you going to use barrage on them, or how are you going to do them? You actually have kind of a lot of options these days. Oh, nice. Yeah, Slayer Helm, as I say, it might not seem like it's as big of a buff as it is, but there are just so many tasks where it just, you no longer have to wear earmuffs or nose pegs, or I think it might count as a witchwood icon, so I think it actually even, I might be wrong about this, but if it does count as a witchwood icon, then it also frees up your necklace slot while fighting the enemies that drop black masks that I can't think of the name of off the top of my head now. Damn. Alright, so we dodge the first one. We dodge the second one and start clicking. Works 100% of the time, 60% of the time. Alright, gonna resalt. Gonna move that to there. Crap. Okay, almost missed that. I'm gonna try and go in for a BGS spec. I'm actually gonna try and go for 2 if the first one misses. And it's probably the wrong choice, but it's still gonna happen. Okay, a 58. Okay, that was not the wrong choice at all. Whatever happens to me because of that, it was worth it. So I'm gonna throw... Mage... White pot... Okay. So I'll stop screwing up here now if I can help it. Shoot. 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. If you're ever having trouble with this phase, by the way, it's really helpful to just walk once per tick. I find at least. 2, 3, shoot. Next doing the... oh crap. The back row strategy there where you've got to kind of dodge damage. A lot easier as well. Anyway, even with a death... ah, damn. Okay, it was 26 seconds too late, never mind. I was gonna say, even with a death, I think I might have beat the 40 minutes, but that's fine. If I hadn't have screwed up, it's a 4% chance, so I can live with that. Okay, what the hell? Really? Like, what? Look at... okay. I realize that I'm about to fly off the handle, and I'm gonna get mad about something, and you're gonna be like, what the hell? What's the big deal? It took me so goddamn long to get the Karis Partisan of the Sun. It was the last jewel that I got before they just recently added in that black one. And I probably would say it was almost 300 KC. It was around 220, 240, somewhere in that area, right? If I go to my raid log for Tombs of Amascut, I have gotten 3 of these in like 20 raids. What the hell? Literally, it took me over 200 raids to get the only one of these 4 that is in any way, shape, or form useful to me. This is not even like I made it, like, just to show you I'm not messing with you. Like, there it is. Karis Partisan of Amascut is the one that's the gem, and I've already got, as you can see, the other 2 jewels here, so I'm not messing with you. Like, what is going on with the RNG on this game? Oh, you want to talk about threads, too. I don't know what the drop rate is, but I got 5 of those things so far. I don't know if I have anything else goofy. I've gotten 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, and 7 rings. Be really nice to have gotten the body or the stuff, but, you know, we'll get there. I do have the Missouri crafting kit, which is why I've got the... it's on me. Sorry, here it is, the Missouri assembler. And, of course, I'm wearing my stoplight drip. The red hat, the yellow chest, and the green pants. actually kind of like the Missouri assembler with it a lot better than I did. Like, I originally made the bow blue because I had the, the Forecath backpack. But I kind of like the yellow. I'm debating maybe changing the color of this, but I don't really know what color the bow would go right with this. Like, I kind of want to go red, but green would make sense because range, but that'd just blend into my pants. Anyway, let's do it again. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to stretch here and maybe hit the bathroom because I had a couple of stressful moments there and might have peed a little. But here's my pre-pot, in case you were curious about it. I guess I could probably divine potion these, but reasonably, no matter what ends up happening, I still have to... Actually, I am going to test something. I want to know something. If I divine ranging pot and super combat and go into the monkey room, am I just not max hitting high enough because I just don't have... like completely maxed out stats, and I only need +1 max hit for the mage gear. So the annoying thing here is I could take a look and look at what a Sang staff is going for. Yeah, for 25 mil I can fix that problem immediately so that I don't have to click on augury anytime that I'm fighting one of the melees after about wave 3. I don't think there's a reasonable way that I could... Is there a... This is a really stupid sounding question, but is there a divine mage potion? Like, no one uses a mage potion. That's not a thing that people use, is it? It's just, I need 1 max hit, and I need it to last for, like... There is? Okay, so magic potion looks like it's just a base +4, which is strange, given that the rest of the potions are not. Yeah, but no, I know that there's a magic potion. I just wondered if there was a divine version of it. I'll be damned, there is. Okay. Next question. Do I have one? Okay. Okay, this is looking good. We're playing Iron Man mode here right now. Don't mind me. I'll just grab the crystal dust that I've got and use my level 97 herb lore and just go ahead and make my own. Sorry, it excites me to no end when I can actually do like a little Iron Man moment there and just like pull everything I needed to test something out of my bank like that. Anyway, because I'm going to be using 3 of these, I guess I'm now going to need to basically combo eat something to counteract the 30 damage that I'm going to take from that. As I say though, I'm going to just take a quick second, stretch, hit the bathroom. And then, when I get back, I'm going to tell a story about magic potions, which... No, I was going to say might be, but no, it definitely is the single stupidest thing that I have ever done in RuneScape. Back in a minute. Alright. So, chat, I have no idea if +4 is enough to give me a magic damage bonus. If you really feel like it, you can Google the Trident of the Swamp wiki page and see if the difference between 95 and 99 magic is going to give me a +1 to damage for that. think it probably will. It, unfortunately, 95 to 99 might be a damage range, and then 100 plus might be the next one. So there's like a 50-50 chance this works. I think it'll work for the rest, though. The other thing I needed to double check... Oh. I want this on Slash, right? There's some boss where I needed this on Crush. I don't think it was for Toa. I think that was for maybe something else. Okay, anyway, enough dicking around. Alright. Locking in. Let's see how the monkey room goes. I'm not using my bow right now. That would have been extraordinarily embarrassing if I got in there and was like, alright, we're locking in. PGS smacked a summoner or something like that. Oh, that would have been beautiful. Okay. Let's do it. See if we can avoid getting blown up this time. Even got a decent song at least. Okay, you're gonna summon one. Okay, not ideal. Actually not too bad. Okay, good start. Alright, I wanted to see if I can... Okay, so I cannot one-shot these without piety on. So that answers that question. A lot of just really minute... Oh! Minute management in this one. Trying not to get dragged by those, for example. Can I get these to blow up? Okay. And yeah, actually that is enough to hit a 30. So, hilariously, I might be adding a divine magic potion to my setup. Not something I was expecting at all. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, God. Oh, it was beautiful. Didn't even mean to do that. I could grab the blowpipe for these two, but eh. Just gotta make sure I don't get dragged into poison, because this thing's pathing is extremely annoying. There we go. Alright, that was a much better monkey room. That's what that was. We'll call the first one a practice run. Like, that was a... I've used one sip. I didn't even take damage. I'm still at 118 HP right now. Goddamn. Alright. Let's see if we can land the BGS spec. And... Oh, 57. Don't even need the other. When that happens. I don't know if this is... I know this'll be fine, but... The problem is, I don't love the situation that you end up in when it decides that it's going to use that attack underneath of your feet. And I know that if you stand right here... Uh-oh. Not right there. If you kind of stand on the corner like this, and he uses it here, then I can just run to here and be pretty much safe. Oh, now I gotta move. I'll get launched into the hole, and we're good. Oh, that's not good. Holy crap, gear switching is hard. Okay. See, now all of my buffs are basically gone, though. So this is my problem with Divines. They just don't last long enough. So now I've got to deal with the rest of this fight without any kind of buffs. Whereas the other situation, I just would have been, like, ticking stats down. By 5 minutes, I just would have lost 5 of the added bonus. So I think I'd use Divine Mage Potions, but not bother with Divine Combat or Divine ranging. Good to know, though. Oh. Almost didn't see the shadow. I'm honestly surprised they left this in. One and 2/3 totems, nice. The amount of times that Baba caught me with that attack when I was learning this fight, my god. Alright, probably didn't even really need the sip or restore, so we're 1 sip in, basically. Really, I did take 2, but I didn't end up using the prayer that I restored, so however you want to look at that. So, way less mistakes. Let's see if we get lucky here. I've effectively got a 1 in 5 chance of only having to run back and forth 4 times instead of 5. If this is the star that I uncover, no, it's the W. Because whatever one I end on, in this case the star, has a chance to be the same one that I start on the next side. So if you're trying to get this in under a minute, I think there's a combat achievement to solve this entire situation solo in under a minute. But you kind of have to end up hitting that kind of 1 in 5 luck to do it. Unless you're better at this than I am, I don't know. So that was 1 minute and 7. Saves about 8 seconds. Probably a little less. Alright. Summon this. Missed 1. Missed 2. Exactly what you expected of a BGS at Kephri. You know, I've actually kind of considered bringing the Bone Dagger. The BGS just absolutely ruins Baba, though. As well as zebak. It's like a 50-50 or so that you hit Kephri, so I don't know. I feel like the Bone Dagger wouldn't be able to reduce enough defense from Baba for it to really be worthwhile, but at the same time, From what I understand, it's a 100% chance for it to reduce Kephri's defense, but I might have that wrong. If I'm wrong about that, then well, never mind. Alright, shooting some swarms. 3 points. This was completely ridiculous on leagues. You could basically have Kephri not recover. I think the blowpipe was like a 1-tick attack speed or something. Might have been 2. I think it was 2. I don't know. Either way, it was ridiculous feeling. Another crap in the corner. Oh, I completely forgot. I was going to tell you my most embarrassing RuneScape story involving a mage potion. So, I never actually played Members Worlds until, I don't know, old school, anyways, until like maybe 2020 or so. Maybe a little earlier than that, maybe 2018 or so. So I kind of came into this really lost, not knowing what a lot of the items were, not knowing like what the conventions were for stuff. So a friend of mine that I'd met through streaming it on Twitch at the time, well, he invites me along to raids with him. And at that time, this content that we're doing right now hadn't come out yet. And he just showed me a screenshot of what it was that I needed to bring. Well, I didn't know what like a third of the items were, so I'm kind of asking my chat like, oh, what's this, what's that? I didn't know what like the helm of the helm of no, it's not. I can't say the damn thing. No one really can, but you know what I mean. For an example, and I didn't know what that was, so I'm like looking at it. Okay, I don't have this, or like I did have void, for example, so I grabbed that. Well, where the problem was the potions weren't listed at all. It was just, here's a picture in, you know, Imager or something of an inventory of potions. Well, go ahead and look up what the difference is in color palette if you'd like between a mage potion, or magic potion, I think it's magic, and a Sanfew serum. Now, I would look it up for you, but I'm kind of indisposed. Now, I'll spoil it for you, they are very close. They're both kind of a skin color, skin tone pink, kind of fleshy color, I guess? I don't know. They're whatever color the mage potion was that you saw me drink a few minutes ago. So, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know why the hell I need to bring a mage potion to raids 1. I can't imagine a reason. Maybe there's a room, because there are rooms in that raid that I don't understand that involve skilling. There's one where you have to have a thieving level to be able to open chests. There's, you know, I'm going to stop attacking here. Get crapped on. Go up here. Sorry, I gotta get crapped on again. There we go. If it happens at the same time, then it is a really big problem, so now we're all set. Anyway, so I'm like, I don't know why I would need to buff my magic, but fine, whatever. There's skilling rooms. There's even one that's like a couple of statues that you have to fight by having a high a mining level. So we get into the lizard shamans, the lizard man shaman's room, and all of a sudden I'm poisoned. And I'm like, oh, what do you do about this? Like, that sucks. Why isn't everyone else poisoned? And they're like, well, drink your Sanfew serum. My what? Let me just see if I can show this. You saw the Divine Mage potion, and hopefully you can see that's the color of magic pot, right? Have a good look at that. Now, Sanfew serum. That's not that different when you've never heard of a Sanfew serum before. This is a 20,000 coin potion. At the time, my whole bank value was like, I don't know, 20 mil? So like, I didn't know what the hell that was. Well, it turns out that the Sanfew serum is kind of necessary. Because it removes poison and venom and stuff, and that's what the Lizardman Shamans were doing to everyone. So, in the middle of the fight, and I'm on Discord for this, thankfully. And I think I was on Discord. Oh no, I wasn't even on Discord. I was on stream, and I was like, with whatever amount of latency Twitch has, trying to like figure the situation out. Oh, I did that wrong. And like, they're laughing their asses off at me, and someone in the middle of the Lizardman Shaman fight trades me a Sandfuse serum. I sip it. I go back to the fight. I somehow don't die. I end it with like 4 HP. And for like 2 years, they just never let me down, let me live down bringing a mage potion to raids 1. Can you not? Oh, you son of... Is that even enough to lower it by 1%? I don't actually know. It took 4 out of that. Excuse me. I don't know if this is going to make me do a third one or not. Okay. Close enough. Yeah, that was my biggest whoopsie-daisy moment that I can remember in terms of not knowing what items were. Whoops, that was actually why I had done that. I wanted to withdraw 1 salt, consume the salt, put the salt away, grab the spec weapon, and let's try this fight again. Got a little bit of practice after the last time. Ooh, it's a big 42. Am I not on my prayers page? And a 51 to follow it up. I will take it. Almost 100 damage, even though I didn't even manage to put on my full range setup for some reason. Like I just did that in the fire cape. Alright, first wave. We're in a much better position for the waves as well. And they're 3 wide instead of 2. Now, if I do enough damage fast enough, we may actually be able to skip a phase. Oh, immediately into this phase, and okay. Is that even a solve? I think it is if I shoot it. Oh god, did I hit it in time? I did not. Okay, we're dead. I mean, technically I got to safety, I just... So, this is a thing that I hate about zebak, and we're going to talk about this because it just happened to me. So, deal with it. If you don't like it, well, there's the door. What I don't love about zebak is that when I click on a boulder, it clearly rolls at the same speed that my character runs, 2 tiles per game tick. But when I click on it, it takes anywhere from immediate on that tick to 2 ticks away from there for when it explodes. So I have absolutely no idea how to time that. I end up just kind of spam clicking, hoping, guessing, and that's about it. Like, it completely screwed me on this one and caused me to have to go for the secondary save. And if I had been fast enough for it, what I could have actually done in that situation is gotten the Karis spec ready, and immediately, as soon as it did the first hit of the 3 hits of the wave, or 4 hits, or however many hits it is, if I had a Karis spec, I would have been able to survive the rest of the attack from that. It's just... I kind of didn't feel like putting that much work into it. It already just kind of decided that it had wanted to be a jackass and screw me on the solve, so you know what, sometimes zebak just earns its kill. What I usually prefer is something like this, where I can just kind of shove it to the side and that blows up. I don't have to worry about it, because it ran into the rock. But if I have to go for a solve where it doesn't hit the rock and I've got to shoot it, it just feels like an absolute roll the dice moment, and I hate that. Be right back, doing Skatizo. Okay, yeah. If you have any questions before you go in, let me know. I have fought it a couple of times. Not entirely sure what my KC is for it. Might be like 10. Okay, the solve is another easy one in the middle at least. Assuming that actually breaks, okay. And the last thing we have to deal with is waves, so I'm just going to head into this corner. Oh, now we're doing good damage. Okay. Probably gonna put him into turbo mode here. Yeah, here he goes. Oh, okay. That was lucky that I was already kind of moving away from those. Basically just spawned them on top of me. That's a little unfortunate. All right. Realistically, if I wanted to have a 100% chance of clearing zebak, I wouldn't run upset stomach. That's what causes me the trouble. I'm in the exact same situation I was in before, where I don't really want to throw away this one dose of a potion, so I guess I'll have to come back for it. Alright, I'll be able to show maybe on this one that there's a little bit more time than there used to be. I've already got a bunch of tiles marked, if you're curious, for one tile away from this, or back when you used to have to do this. But when that turns green, if you click this seal immediately, assuming you've got it solved, it'll always give you the maximum number of, I don't know, attack cycles on the seal. But you don't have to do that anymore. Seems they just added one attack cycle to it, so... You can kind of tell as well, because before, everything would just start to spawn. Like, it would be like one tick of it coming up out of the floor for the second round of it, and then it would just sort of end in a really kind of abrupt and weird way. Anyway, enough of that. If I... This is a bit of a problem, so I'm just going to drink the Super Restore. To hell with it. Because I can't... really get salt out of my inventory halfway through this fight, and I don't really want to do any of this fight with any less stats than I absolutely have to. I know they've made Akka easier, but it's still not necessarily my favorite. I'm pretty sure you can butterfly it with Bofa now, though, so that's kind of hilarious. Alright. DPS check seems to be passed. It's probably going to switch to range just as this dies. Yep. So we're on a level 2 Akka, which means that we've got to deal with 5 colors on the little game. And it's time to play. Yellow, black, red, black, yellow. It was actually not too bad of a situation because it's going to switch as long as I can phase it while it's, like get it to 40%, sorry, while it's on frame melee. Then that means that I should be able to just stay right where I am to be able to attack the Akka clone or the shadow or whatever it's called in the corner here. So, red, black. I really hope it was yellow. It was. Couldn't tell if it went to red or yellow for that one. This has been a really easy Akka so far. I'm gonna try and keep my prey points pretty much full though, because I'd like to... There we go. I'd like to use the healing spec just before we get into the last phase. Yes, Skatizo is insanely easy if you have the weapon for it. I tried it without the weapon once, and it was not what I would describe as insanely easy, let's put it that way. It was more of like a trial of frustration. Red, black, yellow, white, yellow. So I could switch to you know, range gear here, but is it really worth it for the 3 attacks that I'm going to get? Oh god. That was the wrong decision. Tends to help when you're on the right prayer. Also, if you didn't know, you can right-click Akka before he disappears, and then click attack, and it will path immediately to wherever the hell he is. This has been a much more forgiving last phase than the last time. Never mind. You got Dark Claws? Is that a... I don't actually know off the top of my head what that means. Is that like a drop, or is that a... unlock for having beaten Skatizo? Oh, nice. I don't actually know how much I fought Skatizo. I think I stopped when I had enough shards. 8 kills, and the Onyx was from something else. So, yeah, I've got nothing. I did grab life, right? Yeah, so I need these. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people that play this game, and a good chunk of them are already in my Discord, so you got a community if you need it, Water. I know more about this game than I'd like to admit. I mean, why wouldn't you? Everything good, and I mean pretty much everything good about Skyblock, is content that's just, I won't say stolen, I won't say ripped off, but I will say heavily inspired by this game. Why would you eat Hydrox when you can eat Oreos? I realize how stupid of a comparison that is, because Hydrox actually came first, but shush. Yeah, that's pretty much the state of it, Boom. It's a good money skill, but no one really enjoys it because realistically it's just like, you might as well think of it as just being a mailman. That's what it feels like doing rune crafting. You're just delivering mail to the same house over and over again in perpetuity. I think that might actually be hell, actually. Might have mistaken the two. And Water, if you're interested in seeing some pretty endgame content in this game, you're looking at it. If you'd like an explanation of anything that you see on screen, I'd be happy to oblige. In this particular case, to kind of explain, this enemy uses multiple different attacks. The one that looks like a rock, if I'm not praying against range damage, then it will deal a lot of damage to me. That will turn off all of my prayers and use either one of 3 attacks. In that case, the blue one is magic. The pink skulls, similar to the rocks, will deal a lot of magic to me if I'm not praying against mage. So you have to kind of constantly, in this case, be swapping your defensive prayers. This one over here makes my magic attack do more damage. That turned off my prayers, and that was a 1 in 3 chance of it being melee. So now I've taken this thing far enough down to where I can attack the core, which is kind of the point and why I'm fighting this. So I get, if I do it fast enough like this, I get 6 attacks, 5, and then the last one I'm just going to whack with a big hit from this slow weapon. It doesn't matter. And now it takes only range damage. So now I've got to do this fight again, basically. This is sort of an equivalent to, like, floor 7, I would say. But it's very open to being soloable and has, like, scaling difficulty depending on how you choose to set the rate up. That black ball that hit the ground there would stop me in my tracks if it were to hit me. I need to drink the blue pot. There we go. Beautiful. I wouldn't be able to move for a little while. Story and world building. Oh yeah, it has books. There are literally novels about RuneScape's lore and history in terms of gods. There's thousands of years of lore to do with those. There's like, and it's all intertwined into the game in ways that actually make sense. Like, the content that I'm doing would take me an insane amount of time to explain because it's like an entire quest chain that amounts to several gods, like Krondis, for example, being like stuck in this tomb that they tried to raid thousands of years ago or something, and like you enter the Tombs of Amascut to try and plunder them by... yes, there's an insane amount of story. There's so much story that if you just wanted to read books instead of play the game, then you could do that and enjoy it as well. So the grinds in OSRS can be done and approached in multiple different ways. This is my skills. Each of these is a skill in and of itself. Top left corner is majoritively combat kind of stuff. I can't really show it too much right now because I don't have an F hotkey to be able to switch to it easily while I'm in the fight here. But every single one of those skills has a purpose or a use, or is intertwined with another one in some sort of a meaningful way. Every single one of them has different ways to level it up. I'll give you the example of mining. If you want to be really high APM and like really clicking a lot and shit, you can do things to manipulate the ticks in the game. The tick speed of the game basically is 1 tick every 0.6 seconds, or 1 server update every 0.6 seconds. So you can do what's called 2-tick granite. So instead of it taking 5 ticks, it only takes 2 ticks to mine it, and it ends up being way faster, but it's a lot of clicking. Or if you want to go to motherload mine, you can click on the wall and just mine it AFK for minutes at a time and like have it be something that you're doing while you're doing homework or something. There is a mobile client, so you can play it on your phone if you want to. AFK timer is something like 15 or 20 minutes before it logs you out. You know, solid all around for like options for grinding things, I would say. There are circumstances where some skills are just absolutely ass. Rune crafting has options, but they're kind of all bad. Some skills are leveled much faster than others as well. For example, cooking. I can get 200,000 XP an hour in cooking most of the way up, like from pretty low level. Rune crafting, I can get maybe 30% of that at higher levels and maybe 20% of that at lower levels. It's not good. Like, it's just slow, and everything takes the same amount of XP, technically, to max out. I can't read the chat while I'm doing this, because it's a little much, but I'll just keep trying to explain. The XP curve in the game is as such that level 91 is actually the halfway point, numerically, in terms of... oh shit. In terms of maxing out your character, level 91 is sort of the halfway point of, like, actual XP amount. Yeah, so I'm gonna sort of stop talking about this, though, and just focus on what I'm doing, because I am 36 minutes into this raid. This is part 3 of 4, technically, of this boss fight. And it does get more complicated at part 4, so... if you're wondering if the game is just like a stupid, slow, AFK clicker kind of BS game, then this is some of the more high-end content, like, combat-wise. This is actually considered pretty easy, because I'm not even on... I don't take an invocation called Insanity. That makes it so that this is, like, 1 tick faster, and there's other stuff that it does. It makes it a lot harder. I just don't feel like it, basically. So I don't have to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1, open you prick, grab, moth, move, click. That was almost really bad. A lot of stuff going on there. There we go. Okay, so if you were wondering what happened there, I opened up a bag. Picked up an item out of it because I forgot to earlier, when it wouldn't have been as stressful to do so. That regenerates my prayer over time. You can think of prayer like mana. Once I'd used that item, I resummoned my thrall, which lasts, in my case, for a little bit over a minute, and it's that skeleton that's attacking for me right here. And, okay, now it's under 5%. The boss fight changes into this absolute fucking hellscape. Okay, we at least landed some sort of a BGS spec there. Whoops, move. Okay, so now this is a 6-tick cycle. The first 3 ticks on 3 separate, like on 3 random generated areas, shadows will start sort of creating. And after that, they'll start exploding. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can hear the lightning as the tick speed of the game, basically. So you've got to dodge all of this bullshit while praying the correct things. actually just gonna do this. Because I saved these potions that give you full health and prayer back for this. Ah, crap. I'm not the best at doing last rows, so this could go poorly. Oh, that's too early. Wait! Okay, almost died there. That's fine. Okay. That got a little bit hectic. But we made it. And we're at 39.25, so I do get the bonus for being under 40 minutes. Which puts us at a 3.8% chance of having a blue, or a purple, sorry, I did not get a purple. Okay. That was a great use of my time. Yeah, I'll take the 50k, that's fine. Sorry, now that I can actually pay a little bit more attention to what's going on in the chat, if you have any questions about the game water, feel free to ask. Or if there's something that I glazed over that you said earlier while I was in the middle of that hellscape, then, well, I might have missed it. I'm actually going to wear my range gear. Just going to stretch my hands for a minute here and catch up on the chat. That was the botting and economy issues. Just don't think about it. It will never be fixed. RuneScape had a botting problem in 2004. It's gonna have a botting problem in 2025. There is nothing they can do about it. A better idea, in my opinion, is to look at how many people are actually watching RuneScape. And you can do that by going on Google and just typing in Google Trends and typing in OSRS. And when you look at the 7-day, the 30-day, the 90-day, the 12-month charts, there's been a huge spike in people looking for content about OSRS. And what that tells me is that there is definitely a lot of new players coming into the game because they're looking up guides, they're looking up how do I do this, how do I do that, where do I get this, how do I do that quest, what is the best gear for this boss, that type of stuff. So with a huge uptick for searches like that, it tells me that it's got a lot of new people coming into the game, and that's more important to look at than the bot situation, in my opinion. Now, Boom will say the economy is in shambles. It's really not. Just reading through. To be honest, Water, I think that you should go in blind with just a couple of pieces of information. Again, the game is on a tick system. There is a game client that 99% of the RuneScape community uses, and the other 1% just forgot, I guess, with a 1% margin of error. You do whatever you want. I use it. Boom uses it. It's called RuneLite. It's RUNELITE. It is endorsed by Jagex. It's fully allowed by them. All the plugins through their plugin hub are vetted to make sure that they're not in breach of any Jagex rules. You notice, for example, I've got a big blue square under me. That's not part of the game normally. That's a plugin that I can pull up over here. I think that one's True Tile? No? Tile Indicator, maybe? Yeah, so that shows me where I am on the server. Otherwise, this is what you would normally see. And yes, this looks a bit better as like a game, you know? They don't need to see the squares. Don't look behind the curtain. But when you're trying to do high-end PVM content, you really want to know where the hell you are on the server. So, for example, I can also mark tiles with it. So if there's, like, an obstacle on the ground, for example, that's on this tile, and it will allow you to walk over it freely, if you stand beside it and you have run on and you click over here, your character will run, but the server will never actually register you on that tile. You see this blue thing is just moving between the two. It's not actually going on it unless I walk, which is one tile movement at a time. And you can see that that moves across it. So movement in RuneScape is a little bit strange and something that no part of the game will ever really teach you about, and is something you probably want to learn about. The last thing is tick eating. Very few foods. I think Karambwan are one of the only ones. The other one has to do mostly with PvP, so don't worry about it. But Karambwan are a kind of food that are kind of special. When you eat food, you're basically locked out of doing certain actions like attacking or whatever else. You can move around, but you can't attack something and eat food at the same time. It's sort of like you're either healing or dealing damage. So I think it might be 3, but I think it might be 4 ticks if you eat a shark or like what's called big food. And it's only 3 if you eat a Karambwan, but the game will allow you to eat a shark and then immediately a Karambwan or any other big food like a shark, a manta ray, a sea turtle, a dark crab, a monkfish, a lobster, whatever else. So it'll allow you to do that in the same game tick, and that will heal you like 40 HP. So there's some like emergency stuff like that you might want to learn, but other than that, I think you should probably go in blind, read the dialogue, see if you enjoy the game. I would strongly advise against Iron Man for your first playthrough, simply because you can just play a normal character like it's an Iron Man, and then just sell off your excess drops on the Grand Exchange and use that to buy bonds if you want to, and it'll be like 100% less inconvenient for you. I would 100% do self-imposed Iron Man on a main account if you were going to do that. And then just play a real Iron Man later on, because realistically, if you're playing an Iron Man, you're going to end up sucked into having to pay to play for membership, because trying to earn bonds on an Iron Man, I can't imagine that would be a good experience. Does that mean I can make good early game money? So there are money makers that don't require you to have any skills whatsoever. If I pull up the OSRS wiki, this link right here, and this wiki is insanely useful compared to other wikis that you might have seen in the past. Cough, Hypixel. If you go to that and you sort it by free to play and then sort it by hourly profit, you can actually see that selling archery supplies has no skill required whatsoever. And you basically just spend 2.6 million coins in stores, and then you sell those to other stores, and it makes you 700k an hour, I guess. You don't even need to have any skills level. You can do it on a brand new account. You can make pie shells for about 400k an hour, it looks like. High alching items about 500k an hour, but that's 55 magic. So yeah, if you wanted to try out the game, there are viable early game money makers that you could do on free to play. OSRs actually made early game items useful through the game. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the dragon boots that Boom is talking about are literally still part of my melee set right here. I usually use these ones instead for right now, and I've got gold trim on mine because I'm fancy like that. That's just an aesthetic thing. But these dragon boots, the reason that these are really good is, you see it says melee strength plus 4. The amount of damage that you deal in this game is, if you hit, you then roll between 1 and whatever the maximum hit your damage is. So in my case, if I'm wearing my range gear, I just happen to know that if I'm in this raid fully buffed out, doing all my thing, using my prayers and whatnot, I can hit a 51. But that means that every time that I hit the enemy, it first rolls accuracy to see if I landed the attack. And if I did land the attack, it's an even chance between all of the damage, so 1 to 51 equal odds. Because of that, increasing your damage range drastically increases your overall DPS, because if your damage range is 1 to 10, your middle of that is 5, and sometimes you'll hit more, sometimes you'll hit less, but if your damage range goes from 1 to 10 to 1 to 20, the middle of that is now 10, and like 25% of that is 5, you see what I'm saying? Like, it scales up very quickly like that. So, anyway, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. A lot of items end up being very useful for a long time, though. This Missouri assembler that I've got, for example, this is a quest item. This is a quest item from a free-to-play, maybe? Okay, so it's a quest item from a quest that starts from a free-to-play quest chain, I think. Ernest the Chicken, I think that one's free-to-play, I can't honestly remember. Give me a second here. Hide completed quest. So, one other thing. No, that one's from DS2. Yes, that upgrade of it is, but the original assembler, Ava's assembler, is from doing Ernest the Chicken, which is like... Yeah, it's here, free to play. This is the very first quest that you have to do, excuse me, in order to do the quest chain that eventually gives you the backpack, which you can upgrade from the first one to the second one, the third one. I think this is the final one, the fourth one. And then after this, it's either to the range cape or the quiver, whichever way you want to go with it. So yeah, there's a lot of longevity of items. The other thing I wanted to show water, though. I don't know if anyone's ever shown you this water, but are you, just so I don't have to do this twice, you just confirm that you're watching? Because I'm going to show you the quest list. Oh, and by the way, you can just click on any of these skills to see what you can do and how to do it and all that BS. And okay, so this is the quest list. I'm just going to hold this down. Green ones I've finished, red ones I haven't, yellowed ones I've started. We're still going. And then mini quests unlock some other interesting things. For example, one of the barbarian training... Yeah, barbarian training, which apparently I never even finished. Allows me to smash potions on the ground instead of having empty potion vials in my inventory when I empty them. So yeah, there's quite a bit to do. In terms of bosses, I could also show you there's... I hate this menu, the way this has changed. Navigating this is still weird. Here's a boss list in terms of like things that have reasonably important drops. Some of them are skilling bosses, like Winter Todd. Or Vorkath is a particularly fun dragon boss that everyone likes. Phantom Muspa. Still haven't gotten the pet on that damn thing. On top of this, there's also raids, there's clues that are a whole different thing, there's a whole bunch of mini-games that exist. Other... So, Cyclops? Oh, that was for that. Yeah, and some of the items in the collection log, let's be honest, you're not going to get them. Like, if you go into clues and you go into rare rewards, you're not going to collection log this. Literally no one has got a full collection log in RuneScape, I don't think. Also, there are some items in this game that are worth a little bit of a hilarious amount. This one in particular, the last I've heard of one trading was around 20 billion coins, which is 10 max cash stacks. Because the only place it comes from is from, extremely rarely from Master Clues. I think that's the only one, yeah. So if you were to get this, you could sell this for, and I don't condone real world trading, but it would probably be like at least a couple $1,000s worth of GP. Like, it's a bit ridiculous. Also, I'm not even going to bother doing that mage thing anymore, I don't think, am I? Ah, what the hell, I made the mage potion. Might as well use it up. Yeah, I think I'm going to let the dog out real quick. I'm going to be right back myself, and then I'm going to do another raid, but these are like 40 minutes long, so once I start, we're locked in for like 40-45 minutes. But my water glass is empty and my bladder's full, so that doesn't seem like a good way to start a raid, so give me a sec. Get my headphones on here. Got a greater demon task. Are you gonna do tormented demons to do greater demons, or are you gonna do like actual greater demons? Welcome back, Water. Oh, I thought you had Waguthic sleep stun, never mind. By the way, Water, just in terms of this raid, this is the only one that really lets you do this, but these are the invocations, and like each of these does a variety of different things. You can turn them on or off to make the raid harder, and the harder you make it, the more drops, the more likely you are to roll the purple drop table at the end. Excuse me. And the purple drop table is where the real good stuff is. Think of it as the S plus chest. Except if you get it, you don't have to pay for it, and it's, you know what, whatever. It's fine. A lot of games do copy RuneScape, and part of the reason is that it's one of the only games that's just been hanging out and been successful for 20 years. So, clearly they're doing something right. So I gotta lock in a little bit on this one because it's gonna get hectic right now. Where the hell is my bow? Oh, I'm using it, that's why I can't find it. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. I didn't see him in time. Shit. Oh well, at least I got rid of that. Okay. Well, this was a panicked, panicked monkey room. This is still fine. We're still totally fine, though. We're less fine now. I didn't realize there was more to do still here. Just a hit. Okay. Just gonna do that. Okay, this is... I don't like this. That better be the last wave. It wasn't the last wave, oh god. Yeah, let's just send 9 goddamn exploding monkeys at me. That's totally a fine and dandy thing for them to do. I'm okay with that. Oh, okay, now that I've only had a little heart attack. Sounds good, Water. You know, the nice thing about RuneScape is you could also just, like, boot it up in the background and be mining basically AFK while you're doing whatever you're doing in Hypixel. Like, there's a lot of content in the game that'll let you just, like, push a button and then let it happen for, depending on the content, up to, like, 10-15 minutes at a time. So, food for thought. The problem with endgame in RuneScape is that you can do basically anything in endgame with very little gear. And part of playing an Iron Man a lot of the time ends up being locked into having to do that. Like, you just don't have access to gear that you don't drop, so, you know, a lot of the time you just shit out of luck on a lot of the good strategies. So a lot of people in the game just end up spending a lot of time trying to find ways to min-max the crap out of doing something. Alright, I waited a couple of seconds there because I wanted to see if I could land the BGS spec, and we just landed a 51. So we've maximally reduced the defense of Baba, which is real good because we just slammed a 43 right there. And I would have really hated to miss that. Okay, that's not where I want to be. Okay, now we're good. Didn't want to have to run all the way up to the top for the rock. Can we get it in too? Looks good. Yep. Alright, that got him down to 52%. I don't love that. It's gonna have to risk it. Okay. I was gonna say, if it throws a rock at me, I'm not going to that. Like, I'm just gonna have to hope that I land these next 2 hits. Can I make that? I can't make that. Okay. That was stupid of me to even try. I mean, we landed a huge BGS, so... One interesting thing about Baba on low invos, if you landed a BGS this hard, why even bother switching back to melee gear? Really? Like... I'm landing almost all of my hits. Don't have to worry about dealing with that BS. I can just run away from its little attack there. I think my max hit's actually higher with a Bofa anyway. Really no reason for me to be doing this with 6 prayer, but I do kind of want to see if I can get him down before I have to use a pray pot. Oh god. That's not good. Oh, this is foolish. Okay. I thought I was going to end up getting killed in a really stupid way there just for trying to get that last 0.1%. Oh well, we're all good. Alright. Which side has the thing that I don't like? It's that one, so we'll go here. I don't know about anyone else, but there's only one of the obstacles of this puzzle room that I don't particularly like. It's that one right there. So I just skip it. Let's see if we get boot on this first one. Alright, we got the 1 in 5. Alright, let's go ahead and deal with Kephri. Why did I just do that? 30 years from now, and I'll be asking myself, and why did you pray melee at Kephri? Probably for the same reason all 3 of my first attacks didn't hit. Just a little bit of drain damage. Okay. I guess I'm not going to attack. Don't know what happened there. I'm pretty sure I clicked on Kephri or else I would have ran elsewhere. That was very strange. I've not only missed a few attacks, I've literally just not done a couple of attack cycles. I'm afraid that it's going to get another crap cycle before I'm going to get the ranged one up. Yeah, here it goes. Does that hit? Okay. I don't know if I'm just going to get, like, insta-dookied as soon as it wakes up, or what's going to happen there. Alright, blowpipe, backpack. Step off of that and start shooting some swarms. This is just free points. Oh good, it didn't register the click on my sword. That's... glad I noticed that. %, almost up to the point where I get to fight the melee and the mage at the same time. Probably drink up a little bit here actually for the sake of it. Okay, that's the mage. So, I don't really know if I'm doing something wrong, or if it's just like a gear situation. Maybe, might be something to do with like not having a shadow and a decent mage setup. But I know that a lot of people will use more overlords, but like, by the time that I've got both of those ones down, I don't have any more time left. Like, Kephri's already up. So, I might have to watch a couple of people do this content. Because I'm curious, are they just, like, fighting them while Kephri's up? Like, wasting a whole bunch of times that make it take that much more time? Or are they doing enough damage that they can kill more overlords than I can in the same given time frame? Like, granted, I have had absolutely terrible RNG on my damage this Kephri. Should be getting poop anytime now. There it is. Gonna love fighting a dung beetle. Alright, we should be able to phase them into the next one real quick here. There it is. I'm gonna come around this corner so that I don't have to deal with that situation anymore. And I might as well just dump my specs. Again, really? Okay. That seemed kind of fast, but alright. Can we just land a hit, please? Here, I'll even let him hit me a couple of times with ranged. Alright. I might have to go back in the stream and see just how many times I missed in a row. Good God. Alright, levels wise we got 1 and 1, so I guess we'll go Path of Krondus this time because I don't really mind fighting a level 2 Akka. Welcome back, Boom. You just missed a very long Kephri fight. No idea why my character ran up to the crocodile. Very strange. I mean, there's a lot of different enemies that you can fight in the catacombs that have to do with Slayer. I would probably just train Slayer. But you do whatever you feel like. Personally, I'm gonna snort these smelling salts and go and attack an alligator. I guess that's another good thing about RuneScape. It really does live up to the, like, fantasy. Like, it sells you on the power fantasy. I just hit a 67. Like, I'm running up and a 72. Alright, that's a new personal best for damage on this thing. I basically put it into its first spec phase. With melee attacks. Like, good God. That's the power of the Bando's God Sword. I don't know what to tell you. Big High War God. Zebak just doesn't have that much melee defense in the first place, so like landing a BGS here is not... It's not like surprising. I think you can only drop his defense by like 30 anyway. Might be like 20. Could be as much as 40, I really don't know, I'd have to go and look, but I would say it is as reduced as it is capable of being at the moment, let's put it that way. When you did it, it would always hit a 0, at least one. So you gotta remember though, I'm 99 attack, I'm salted, and I'm apparently an idiot because I just had a complete panic attack on my prayers. I'm salted, and I was using piety. So like, my max hit's like a 76 or something with that spec. I don't know why I keep trying to put on melee prayers. We're just not going to talk about it. We got an easy solve from the back row. That's good. I always do zebak first. So the problem is, if you take invocations that level up the bosses, then when you get to the last phase, like the wardens or whatever, those bosses are still leveled up. So in my case, I got a level 1 zebak and a level 0 Baba. Or level 1 Baba, I don't know. I don't remember if it starts at level 1 or 0. Because I skull skip, and because it will actually change the speed at which it throws rocks at you, if I were to do what I do and have Baba not be level 1, it might screw up my skull skipping timing. And I'll kind of explain that when I'm not dealing with this BS. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So the issue is when I skull skip, I have a pattern. The first time, I wait until I have to pray, use the first prayer, and then start clicking, and by the time that I've moved, either I have to switch prayers or I don't, depending on whether or not it used a, the other attack. And then the second time, it's the first prayer, the second prayer, then you click. And then the third skull skip is you dodge one rock from above, and then you skull skip. And then the fourth final one is that you dodge 2 rocks, and then you start clicking. And by the time that you land, basically, or that you start moving, rather, the rock will have landed in a place that you're not. So I think it would screw up my timing for that, but I'm not really sure. I don't really want to find out. I've got this down to a point where I can actually do end game content. I'm happy enough with that. And yeah, you probably should do it normally. I skull skip because I think it's easier. I don't have to switch gear. I don't have to click on things. I don't have to worry about it. And it actually gets you a little bit more points. The damage that the skulls deal doesn't give you as much points as if you don't do the skulls and then just deal that damage to the enemy on your own. So 3 minutes and 14 seconds. We actually have enough inventory space this time. Okay, this looks right. Really don't like to be in a situation like this, trying to figure out where my stuff in my inventory is mid-fight. So, same thing as the last phase of that previous run. 1, 2, 3, and shoot. That should phase him. There we go. So yeah, effectively I've got 3 3/4 of a restore pots just for this fight. Oh, you bastard. Black, red, black, red, black. I think they also broke one of the invocations. Prior to, whatever is happening now, I guess. It used to be when you were fighting this guy, and I'm gonna switch to range here, just so that I can hit this without screwing up and having to deal with the orbs. So, if you had the invocation on where it would randomly switch, then it would, well, it would actually randomly switch, and I have that invocation on, and it doesn't seem to be doing that. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, back and forth. Unless I've completely lost my mind, and I don't have that invocation on, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe it just makes him do it more often. But it used to be, sometimes it would attack once and then switch, and then attack once and switch. It was super frustrating if you were not butterflying it. Or at least it could be. Either way, weird. Even if I had to switch as, a little bit more often, wouldn't really be that big of a deal at this point, because, well, kind of do whatever the hell I want to. So white, yellow, black. Being able to use melee for 2/3 of the fight is honestly my favorite part of it. Just not having to switch constantly. Missed the prayer, hit a max. They'll probably switch in maybe one more attack. There it is. That's actually convenient timing for me. So when I take him down to 20%, still would be putting orbs on the ground. No, we're good. Okay. Yellow, white, red, black, red. Alright, now with any luck, I should be able to take him all the way down before he switches twice. The next time that I have to drink a restore potion, I'm going to try and use my healing spec. Or right now. Better safe than sorry. Oh, okay. So much for that notion. I think I'm good. No, that's gonna hit me. God, I hate this part so much. Okay. Honestly, I should just do akka first, just to get that nonsense done, but either way, as I say, I usually end with between 2 and 3 super restores. That was 2 1/4. Yeah, 2 1/4. 2 and 1. Oh, oops. Alright, so we're ready. Gonna run up here, summon my thrall, drink a blue potion, tell this dude I'm ready, and BGS. Missed. Number 2. Ooh, big 58, that's good enough. Move when I get about 60 HP, 69's fine. Got all the range gear on. Alright. Phase 104. Let's get her done. Man, we were ripping this thing. 35%. Usually I'm like 45, 50% at that phase. That was almost bad. I didn't see that shadow until it was almost too late. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was bad. Forgot that was going to turn off my prayers and everything. What do we do here? Why is it not letting me drink this? I literally tried twice and couldn't. That was so weird. Whatever. Good enough. Not gonna... Oh, you son. I'm only gonna get 5 hits here. This is gonna be a 3 down because of that. No, I need range. I'm gonna have to try and heal with a lot of yellow pots here, and this is gonna get kind of awkward. Nope. Alright, we're all set. We're even gonna skip a lot of Thunder Skulls. Okay, we got the early hit there. I don't actually know how many hits I'm gonna get here because it's at 60.7. So is that 8 or 10? Let's find out. It was only 8. That's fine. That means I get to BGS the next phase. Oh shit. This is not going my way. There, good enough. $35 and spec 2 0. Boo. Alright, well, we used up all of our blue pot. Gonna salt now just for the hell of it. Yeah, Fang would be nice. I think it's gonna be ring number 8 myself. Oh no, okay, no. I yellow clicked, I thought I was gonna run into danger. It scared me a little more than it probably should have. I need one of these. Alright, so skull skip number 1, you just spam click the skull like there's nothing that you do. If you're ever curious how to skull skip. 51 score. And then it's just 1 2 1 2. So the first skull skip that you have to deal with a crocodile on the left side that's going to be making you pray things. You just figure out what the first prayer is and then start spam clicking. And then sometimes while you're running you might have to switch prayer. Sometimes you might have to eat a little damage. It's not really a big deal. Priority is to make sure that you don't get hit by the skull damage though, because it will one-shot you. Okay. First one's gonna be made, so we start clicking. Second one's made. So the next time, I'll just have to wait until it's used 2 attacks. And then the same thing on the third attack that it uses. It might be a situation where I have to switch while I'm running. I might take a hit. It's really not a big deal, just as long as I avoid the damage from the skull skip. Anytime now. There it is. Alright, so one. Oh, I'm actually dumb. Sorry, this is... I was completely untruthful. So it's the first rock and then the second rock. Okay, I ran early. Don't know what I'm thinking. I'm not used to talking while doing this, so I'm just gonna blame that. Oh no. Okay, no, we're good. Might as well fully overheal. You see why I don't do Insanity, because it's this, but one game tick faster. And this is already enough. Could dodge one. And dodge two. And then just start clicking. %, almost there. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we hit a 41. I really don't need to, but I'm gonna go for a second one. Nope. And we're done. That was way faster that time. Gotta love when you really land a solid BGS spec at the start of the fight. What do we have, 5 rows left? God damn. 4.05%. No purple this time. 4.11%, sorry. I mean... 148k, that's rough. I can show you I've been doing a couple of TOAs off stream as well. In the last 10 of them I've made 3.4 mil. So, not great. I'm gonna need a minute though. I'm gonna just stretch and, you know, do between tour run things. This is kind of fun. I didn't really expect to get through as many as I've gotten through tonight. I think I've got one more in me though. I'm a little bit tempted to try and amp the difficulty up a bit. So, I mean, that's 10 points right there. But it is a raid ender if I die, so it kind of just frustrates me when that happens, to be honest. I don't really want to do need some help. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the 280s. It might not be the hardest raid in the world, it might not be the highest invo. But the thing of it is, I can complete it with consistency, and it's a 4.2% chance at, I think anyway, a 4.2% chance of the shadow. Yeah. That'd be a solid 9, maybe 910 mil, something like that, minus market taxes, something like 880. Anyway, taking a quick break. We'll head back in for another round. Alright. Huh. According to YouTube, there's 4 concurrent viewers. That seems unlikely. Or 6, depending on what it's now saying after it refreshed itself. I'm about to get back into another run of it here, but just out of morbid sheer curiosity. If you got your hands free and you're in the chat, let me know if YouTube's just giving me some kind of a 3-digit rounding error or what. Anyway, I'm just sorting out my headphones cable, which has come unattached from its little connector thingy here that holds it away from, well, getting tangled in everything. So that's not going to be something that I want to be dealing with mid-fight. Okay, let's pre-pot and get into this raid. Do I want to... I guess I have it, so I kind of have to... I've kind of sold myself on using the Divine Magic Potion, haven't I? Ah, crap, that actually means I need a bit of food, too. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue to use the Divine Magic Potion, but I mean, I've got 4 doses of it, I'm going to use all 4 doses of it. Excuse me. I think the real answer is just get 99 magic. Because without 99 magic, I can't one-shot the... what is it? The melee, I think? Ones? I either need 99 magic or a bitch 8-1. I mean, I need 99 magic or I need a Sanguinesti staff. Or to just pray augury. Or to use a divine potion. There's so many ways around this problem. Why am I complaining about this? Let's see how this goes this time. Welcome to the panic room. God damn it. Shaman's in a worst possible place. Did not get away without him spawning one of those little bastards. I dropped like 130k. It was not a good one. Oh, crap. Oh, I didn't even see the, yeah, that's a problem. Okay. Don't know quite how I did that. Just not even gonna ask. Okay, too much things exploding. Alright, we're all back to square one here. Made this a little further so I don't get dragged. Not even gonna bother with the prayer. Okay, so I do hit 30 with that. That's actually quite good to know. If I take these two out, it's gonna spawn another wave. Yep. Can I just, like, shoot this one with range? Is that even an option? Nah. Okay, it's not really. No, don't hit that one with melee. God damn. Okay. Didn't see that one. This has not been my best of rounds. I think there's still more to come. No, we're good. I thought there was one more round, but apparently not. Yeah, sometimes Monkey Room just goes kind of more rough than I'd like it to. I don't know. I get kind of panicked. I should probably have like a full strategy of what ones to fight and what order and whatnot, and I just kind of don't. So, well, you and water. I don't know. I think there's actually a button I can push here to see participants. Oh, that only shows chat participants. No idea. I also have no idea if YouTube does things like counts people that aren't logged in, for example. I'm just gonna take no chances here. I really don't need to be in a rush. I'm gonna wait until I've got 50% spec. And then I'm gonna roll the dice on if I look like an ass or not for doing that. And the reason I say that is this might just be a completely missed spec. Either way, I don't mind waiting just a couple of seconds. We do have a light bearer, so it's not too bad. And probably go in when it's at about half. Okay, I was literally one game tick early. Oh, and it missed. Oh, that's really embarrassing. I'm just gonna eat that 38 as a punishment. Not even gonna try to dodge it. Not only did the spec miss, but the whiff that I attacked with in the first place also missed. Yep, not much I can do about that. Can I land a hit, please? Oh good, apparently the answer is no. I'd say I'm getting passive-aggressive, but it's getting to a point where I'm gonna get active-aggressive if I keep missing these attacks. Okay, that's not good. I know you can boulder skip from 2 away, I just have not been having the best of luck here. Out of curiosity, you know what? We're just gonna... in range gear. Okay. No, I had to know something. Because I had a feeling that I could somehow just land that BGS spec in full range gear. And now that I know that I can't, I'm a little happier. Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna do. Okay, my inventory is askew, that's not good. I'm downtown. Oh, and it gave me the double, can I get through this? Ah, beautiful. The beautiful double boulder skip off the first two. Might as well make use of it. I literally just got out DPS'd by a thrall. I didn't see the XP drop and I saw a 1 and a 2, but I'm pretty sure I hit the 1. That's a little embarrassing. Don't really need to worry about prayer at this point. Although, I don't really love that I'm this far away from... Okay, never mind. Didn't matter. Alright, Bomba's down. To the random lurkers, if you feel like chatting, feel free. I'll try and read it when I'm not in a panicked, you know, getting roasted by zebak moment or something. Or just lurk if you like. Or in the case of viewer number 6, just leave, you know, that's cool too. Oh, boom, I can't wait for this. Tell me. What horrible mistake have you made? Okay, so far I feel like you're not gonna have an issue. I used 7 shards, so 2,333. I'm just going to assume that maths. So now I need 31 shards, otherwise I'm 1 off from 10,000. What? What are you trying to tell me? 30 shards is 10,000 charges. Whatever charges you've used in increments of 100 will count towards... the thing. I think you can use a combination of percent and charges. Oh, because you are literally one... Oh, yes. Then yeah, 31. I see what you're saying. That's hilarious, by the way. But it means that you have to get 1 more shard. You know what? That just would happen, wouldn't it? There's a 20 on Kephri. Can we do it again? No? Okay. This just would be the run where I just randomly BGS a 20 on Kephri. You know what? I got high hopes for this one. If I make it to the end of this, I think this is the purple run. You win some, you lose some. If you're gonna talk to me about bad RNG after I've gotten 3 of those black jewels, I'm sorry, Boom, but I think you've gotten the wrong number. One tick too late. Well, I don't know what weight it is. If it's a high weight, it's a block, and if it's not a high weight, it's just a skip. In either case, it is not a go do that. I think you figured that much out already on your own. Oh. I can't remember what it is that spiritual creatures drop for an Iron Man. I want to say it might be dragon boots. But I think that might be aviancies? Avian bird things? Either case, I think spiritual creatures is one of those tasks that I only ever did once. So don't have much advice on where to do it even. I think realistically I should probably just get off my ass, lock in, and just go back to doing Slayer. Because I'm gonna have to make a new block list for every master now. The really frustrating thing is I just cancelled my Slayer block list, like completely removed the whole block list, kinda cancelled, very recently. In an effort to basically prep it for making those videos. So if I hadn't have done that, I would have been given back all of the points from having made the block list. So I probably lost like 400 or 500 Slayer points doing that. God damn. Oh well. Not like I need them. Nice. Well, the nicest thing about Cave Horrors now is you can rock your new Slayer helm and not have to worry about, I think they just scream at you or something, don't they? Or is that Banshees that I'm thinking of? I think Cave Horrors are the ones that you have to wear the weird necklace, the Witchwood icon. I think we're going Path of Krondis for this one. Now this is another one of those situations... Voice cracked, goddamn. This is another one of those situations where you could do this room in a way that... Oh wow, I did that wrong completely. You can do this room in a way where if you're tick perfect, you don't ever have to fight any of the crocodiles. Clearly my movement is not like some kind of crazy bot-like tick perfect situation, so I don't worry about it. Instead, if you look, you'll see that there's these red glowing faces in only one of the corners. That's the corner the crocodile's going to come out of. So, just use that instead. I mean, if you're going for the combat achievement and trying to get through it in some amount of time, then go nuts, but... Alright, moment of truth. Can I rock this thing's world with special attacks this time? Oh, a 0. Don't do that to me. You're embarrassing me in front of Boom. There's a 72. Since this one's level 1, it's gonna be nice. Ain't no way. That wasn't even my max hit, apparently. I don't even know what my actual max hit is with a BGS spec. But that was not the max hit splat, so... Oh god. The hell am I supposed to do with that? I guess we're just dead. The hell? Oh, don't shoot it, you stupid asshole! Okay, the only thing I can do here is this, and I don't have the spec for it, so never mind, I'm dead. What the hell was I supposed to do with that? All of the barrels over in the area of it were completely encased in poison. I've never seen it be that big of a screw-up before. I mean, I don't even take responsibility for that having happened. I'm just happy that I have another opportunity to see if I can hit higher than a 72 to piss off Boom. Does the wiggle? Okay, 62. That's not bad. I can live with it. 17. Collectively, I did more than a 72, so... I'm actually pretty mad that that screwed me that hard, though. I'll go back in the stream footage, I think, at the end of this one and have a look and see what I could have actually done to solve that, because that... I don't know if they've changed something, like, this is what I was expecting to have to do. Oh no, I gotta push the jug. You know? Like that's what I signed up for. Oh, don't run in the poison, okay. And then here, and then here. Somehow that didn't poison me, even though my character clearly walked in an L shape across it. We're just not gonna question it. Game knows more than I do somehow. Really don't love where I'm standing right now, but I'm gonna try and stay here. Oh, crap. So if I run across the front... Oh, you bastard, why did it poison me? I was gonna say, I was half expecting it to melee attack me. If you run too close to the front, if you're ever wondering why I wait until it does the little wiggle to use the special attacks... yeah, this thing can hit some serious damage with a melee attack if you're too close. It is not worth trying to mess around with. Does this just explode? Okay, cool. Perfect solve. %, making my way back over here though, because if it does the waves. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was going to get to do the waves or not, but if I had hit the last couple of attacks that I missed, I think it probably would have skipped it. But instead, now we get to do turbo zebak during the waves. And on a level 1 that really isn't difficult at all. Well, I feel robbed by that death, if I'm being completely honest, but I'll get over it. Going into Akka, we are 1 super restore lower than usual, so I can just drop that vial. Actually, 2 super restores lower than usual, because I usually do Akka 3rd. Okay, it's only 1 statue. That's unusual. Whatever they've done to this room, I'm happy with it. This is literally the only thing that I've ever come across in game where I'm happy that I've trained my mining. Well, this and the statue room in Raids 1. I guess I kind of can't use salts in this. Yeah, okay. thinking about it. I'm just sort of thinking of how screwed I'm going to be if I end up running out of salt. So I should be okay, because the first time that I need to use any kind of healing that's going to take away my stats is going to be during... Okay, so yeah, if I use a salt after the pillar is downed, I should be fine. That should give me lots of time between the two of them. Kind of low rolls on the range hits. That should do it. Yeah, it's level 2, so I have to deal with 5 colors in the center spec. Black, yellow, black, yellow, and white. Gotta love when you spec an 8. Ugh, rough. It's probably gonna switch soon, yep. And I'm gonna switch into range gear. And excuse me? There we go. Completely unnecessary. I didn't see the second one. I'm hoping it's yellow. Okay, it is. Alright, halfway. 49 seconds before the salt starts to deteriorate, but we're gonna start by healing with a white potion. After getting damage to the pillar, ideally, so it's not too big of a deal. Black, yellow, white, red, black. Around the world. Trying to keep my prayer nice and high. But I'm just low rolling all these hits. White, yellow, white, yellow, black. Come on. I think I should be able to get this thing under like 220% quick enough that I can hopefully run to its shadow before it switches to mage, because otherwise I'm gonna have to switch to range or god damn it. So we have red, black, yellow. think I'm going to do the healing spec as soon as it's pretty much dead. But I'd like to already be in melee gear when I do it if I can help it. Perfect. I did not mean to do that, though. And that'll work. Nope. There we go. Finally got through that phase on stream without taking damage at least. Ugh. That was a bit of a rough run. We still had one full super restore, and I was really just lazy with a lot of the ways that I was changing through my potion usage and stuff, so let's see. White, pink, yellow, blue. Okay. Another bit of an incident that I had the one run today was that I forgot to organize this stuff the way that I usually like it. Yellow to the left of the supplies, pink to the bottom. Okay, 7. That's not good. A 0. Okay. We're just gonna... I'm a little confused about how I've got 82 HP right now. You know, it's probably fine. But I might have screwed up the timing this a little bit. Ah, well. Seems fine. Yeah, I'm gonna take damage here, aren't I? Okay, as long as I only take 1, I'm happy about that. So I don't think I can actually get a 2 down, because I used so much of my special attack up. I'm not convinced about that though. Like, there's a chance. I'm gonna resalt now, because we're about -6 on our stats. Okay, it might have been 1 tick late, but I'll try for 6 hits here. 3, 4, 5, and do we get this? No, didn't think so. Okay, that was odd. Just happened to try and turn off my Mage Prayer right at the same time the game did, which caused me to turn it back on at the same tick that it turned it off at. Alright, we got Thunder Skulls, I gotta focus. Got really lucky on that one, it looks like. I think that might hit me. No, that would have been fine. Okay, I'm gonna switch to this. Blue pot, go. I think it's still gonna be a 3 down though, so It is what it is. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a 3 down, so I'm not even going to worry too much about that. I'll save a little bit of my spec for blasting the next phase of the Wardens. A little bit of BGS. Ideally, if I can get up to 50 special attack energy, I'd be able to hit with 2 BGS specs on the Wardens, because I should have more than enough time to get there in that minute 36 left on the blue pot. That was cutting it a little closer than I would have liked there. Missing something? Why am I only hitting 40s? Ooh, 46. Beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna wait for it. I just hit I spec'd a 1 and then a 3. Wow, that's kind of embarrassing. Talk about a low roll. That roll can hit up to something like almost an 80, I think, so. Anyway, back to this. Good old walk left to right. And realistically, that's kind of all this boss is for this phase, is just walking from this leftmost square to the middle to the right. And then back. But it's still kind of fun. Alright, 65%, 63, 60.7. Now we gotta start praying. And now the rocks start. Probably could have switched prayers. Oh well, it's only 29 damage. Oh, whoops. Don't know why I turned that off. Coming up on the last red skills phase. 22. Gotta love my accuracy. That should do it. Here we go. Hold on to your balls. He's about to go off the walls. 5%. 5.7. There we go. 24. First one's a whiff. Second one's a 4. Oof. That's not good. I just saw the chat move out of the corner of my eye doing the whole chameleon thing here, but I can't quite read it this time. So, they're holding? Alright. Sounds good. Oh shit. That's why we save the white pots. Oh, that's gonna hit me. Okay, it didn't matter. 39-16. Alright, well we get the bonus for being under 14 at least, 40 minutes at least. I did say I think this is going to be good loot. I was hoping for a purple. It's not a purple. Well. I will say it's better loot than usual. 331k plus... about 700k. Unfortunately, that is, by quite a fairly large margin, the most I've made off of a single run today. Still, good progress. But, 11 runs since I've been tracking it. Yeah, I think I'm about done with RuneScape for the right at the moment. So I'm gonna probably take off, but I could probably see myself streaming a bit of Toa here and there. Just kind of fun to knock out a couple hours of it in the nighttime now and then. See you next time.